All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. I'm Orlando.
Now, I'm Omar,
We're the Smart Bros.
and this is the Smart Take.
All right, guys. Just finished that Colts game, and man, oh man, we they did it way better than we thought. I was not expecting that, to be honest. The defense, they showed out in that second half. Really, the fourth quarter in general, it was really just mainly that fourth quarter because kind of in the third, they had a chance to tie the game up for less than 4 minutes left. Next thing we know, we're up by 30 points. So that fourth quarter, we really took off. We scored 33 points in the fourth, which is a franchise record for us. And I mean, how do you feel about the game?
Like you said, we had a crazy fourth quarter. It was a solid second half. I was not pleased with the first half, offensively or defensively or special teams wise.
Yeah,
I didn't really like it. I mean, we were still up, but it's because they were a bad team. We were supposed to be up still. I mean, we went into halftime up 21-13, and I'm not satisfied with that because I know what this team can be. So I wasn't really happy with it. But like you said, and we said in the past videos, the team has been really going into the second half with adjustments, and that's something I haven't seen in my lifetime. And so I do like that. That's definitely gets me excited for the playoffs because, like you said, there's been times where we get smacked in the face in the first quarter, even though we were first half, even though we were still winning. I feel like we were getting smacked in the face because of who they are. But we came out in the second half, made adjustments, and we shut all that down. So overall, I mean, we did what we were supposed to do, even though no one's out here just putting up 50 burgers like that and having 33 unanswered in the fourth quarter. So that's what we were supposed to do, but that's not what people do. So
yeah,
just that was like we killed them, but that was like a different level of killing. So I would say I was happy with it
yeah.
overall that we just fixed the things that we need to fix. And yeah, but guys, due to technical difficulties, we recorded our pregame video to this game. But like I said, due to technical difficulties, I don't really know how to explain it. It just didn't work out. Like it had was like an audio and then no video. And by the time and like I had to go to Austin, it was just a lot of things that we ended up getting very busy. So if y'all were wondering why we didn't have a pregame video for that, we recorded it but we are still going to tell y'all our predictions from the video and then tell y'all which ones we got right. So start off, Orlando. What predictions did you have and which ones did you get right?
All right, so I predicted that Dak would throw for 277 and three touchdowns with no picks. And my reasoning was I felt like a lot of our a lot of his picks recently have come on miscues because he has thrown a lot of picks. Before coming to this game, he was like 2 for 1 for touchdown to interception ratio. And but I felt like a lot of those picks just came off of misunderstandings with his receivers and or like the one in the Giants game, he thought he had a free play and the corner was out of bounds. But and I just felt like a part of it was my hope that coming this far into the season that we would get some of that tightened up. We wouldn't have to worry about that. And so when with that prediction, he threw for 170, so I was about 100 yards off. He did throw for three touchdowns, but he did throw for a pick. But on that pick, I don't genuinely don't know understand how Michael Gallup fell down like that. Like it looked like because it didn't look like there was much contact. I wouldn't even have. I didn't think there should have been a pass interference call. Because it just didn't seem like there was much contact to cause that. So like I said, I genuinely don't understand how he felt like that. But so I mean, it's another just a not even a misunderstanding, but just like when your receiver completely falls down on his route. I mean, there's going to be throwing, especially when it's an anticipation throw. He's supposed to be breaking out of a route, and Dak's throwing it before he gets there. Obviously, if he falls down, so it's another interception. I can't really blame Dak too much. I mean, it honestly didn't look like it was going to be that much of a completion. So, I mean, we don't know, but it was just another just up in the air interception for him. I predicted that Zeke and Pollard would run for 120 on the ground and then 50 through the air, and then two total touchdowns between the two, whether that be rushing or receiving. And I feel like I'm gonna say this before, but every prediction, which is a good thing, I can only ask for that. I feel like we have somebody who's just blowing. We predict somebody to do pretty well, and then they just completely blow that out of the water. And in this game, that'd be Zeke and Tony because they ran for 168, had 3 total touchdowns, and they had 29 receiving yards between the two. So they were just all over the place. I predicted that Brett Maher would kick 2 field goals. I felt like we might have some drives stall out or something, but other than the interception, we scored on it. We either scored or had a 3-and-out, or not 3-and-out, but we ended up punting. So we were never really in field goal range. Once we got down on the opposite side of the field, we put points on the board. And then I predicted that one of Dak's 3 touchdowns would be a tight end touchdown, just based on our game plan and just the way we have been playing in the past, and didn't come true. But can't be too mad. We still got his 3 touchdowns, so 2 of them went to Gallup, and he had a big game today. And then I predicted for our defense, I predicted that Michael would have 2 sacks, and of course he didn't get one, so he didn't get two. And I predicted that we would hold Jonathan Taylor to less than 75 and a touchdown. And while we hold him to just above that with 82 yards, he didn't score a touchdown. So it's I don't really know if I can chalk that up to our run defense. It doesn't look like I don't know. I don't want to say that's a good game. 80, 82 yards isn't like a bad game for a running back, but I mean, I guess Jonathan Taylor that could be a bad game. So I still need our rushing defense to step it up a bit, especially going into the playoffs. Especially if we're going to see teams like the 49ers who have weapons on the outside, even though they did lose Jimmy Garoppolo today. They do have those weapons on the outside that we'd have to respect a lot more than the Colts receivers. Although not shout out. I don't want to give him a shout out, but although Diggs, he did get. We can give. I don't know, it's the opposite of credit, I guess, but we can call a spade a spade. He did get burned on that route. He bit on the pump fake on the double move. And I mean, hey, it is what it is. No corner's perfect. I'm not gonna hold that against them. And it's like that's the difference between him and Anthony Brown. If we can give up, if you're gonna give up, that's it. Honestly, that's like the first time I can honestly say he's done that this season. If you're gonna give up one in 13 weeks, I can live with that. If you're gonna give up one every quarter, you're gonna be a target, a liability. Can't happen. Deron Bland, I'm confused why Anthony Brown is still playing at this point. Deron Bland came in there, had 2 interceptions. Like, what is? Give the guys a chance. Kelvin Joseph did give up a touchdown as soon as he came in, and that's actually the second time that's happened. So starting to look like we might have. It's the boss man. I don't know what I want to call it. The boss man project seems to be not to be working out. It was a 2nd-round pick. We could have got Asante Samuel Jr. with that pick. I don't want to kind of like look on hindsight is 2020. You know what they say, but it's just he's not living up to a 2nd-round pick. So I feel like we might be moving on from that soon. Hopefully we can. I want our first draft pick to be a corner, but and then my final prediction, I predicted we would win the game 41-17, and we blew that out of the water. Won 54. They hit 54-19. So I was close on their end, and then they did way better than we did way better than I could have hoped. So, what about your predictions?
Before I get into my predictions, I just wanted to comment on what you were saying about our corners. I agree. Diggs has been baited as much as they claim, as he's just given up so many yards. He's been being disciplined. He's been guarding. He's been truly covering this year. And so he hasn't been really giving up many touchdowns, many yards. And hey, it was a good move. He pump faked him. I was like, hey, not my dog, but I get, like, you're right. It happens. Jair Alexander, he got cooked today too. So it happens to the best of the best. Sometimes you're gonna
Jalen Ramsey, AJ Terrell. Literally, you can't name me a single corner. You can't name me a single corner this season who hasn't gotten burnt at least once.
It happens. But like you said, Anthony Brown just gets burnt too much every game. I mean, prayers up. I didn't want him to tear his Achilles, so that sucks. So I hope he has a speedy recovery. I mean, you never want anybody to get hurt. I did want him to get benched, but yeah, like I said, I did
Yeah,
not want him to get hurt. Kelvin
absolutely.
Joseph, yeah, we were really big on him when he was a rookie. We were like, hey, maybe he could be like Diggs, because Diggs rookie year, we were like, just give him another year. He was just right there. We saw Kelvin Joseph's highlights at Kentucky, and I was really thinking, hey, he could definitely be a CB2, but I'm pretty
My
much
thing with
sold
him,
on him. He's not that. I don't think he's that good. What were you saying? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, my thing with him was he was at Kentucky, and yeah, I saw his highlights. He was good there, and he was really he came from LSU, so he had the talent to be at LSU, but there were some off the field issues there in which he had to transfer. So talent wise, I felt like he had real potential there. So yeah, but like I don't, it's not really looking too good.
And then, yeah, shout out to Ron Bland. He had a very big game, 2 picks back to back. Even though he's a rookie, he's a backup rookie, so you can't expect. God, I know one of the other games he didn't have a great game. I was thinking, why is he still in the game? But hey, it's a rookie, so it's trial and error. I definitely rather my rookie be getting burnt than my veteran cornerback. But that's neither here nor there. Hope we'll see what happens in these next few weeks now that Anthony Brown is probably out for the season. But yeah, let me get into my predictions. I predicted Micah would have 2 sacks. He didn't have any, like you said. If he didn't have one, he didn't have two. I thought Diggs would get a PBU. He didn't have any. Because I didn't think he was going to get targeted that much, which he still didn't. He did give up a touchdown though. Like I said, double move happens. I'm not going to look too much into it because he's still been good 12 of the 13 weeks. He didn't play bad. He just gave up that one play. I thought the defense would get at least one turnover. We ended up getting, that's like you said, blowing out of the water. We got 5. I definitely did not see that coming. 5 turnovers in a game. If you find a way to lose a game with 5 turnovers, you don't deserve it. So, and we obviously killed them. I thought Dak would throw for 260 plus and 3 touchdowns. He threw for 170, but that was more because our defense was getting turnovers. Our run game was going crazy. He still had 3 touchdowns. I thought he would have a pick. He threw a pick just because I think Dak is a bit risky at times. The pick today was not because he was being risky. I just think Gallup fell. I really, like you said, I don't really know how he fell. Even though I was texting Dad when it happened, he definitely threw it inside. So it was a little like more to Stephon Gilmore than it was to Gallup. But I feel like if Gallup doesn't fall, at worst, it's an incompletion. I don't think it's a pick, but it happens. I thought TP and Zeke combined are 140 rushing and receiving and 2 touchdowns. They combined for 197 rushing and receiving and 3 touchdowns. I personally like when they're both on the field because you never know who we're going to give it to. And so I pray that we can keep both of them next year because that's our bread and butter, having both of them back there. I thought CD would have another monsters game with 115 and a touchdown. He had 71 and a touchdown. But with that being said, that 71 felt like dang near 200. It always was right on time. We had a 3rd and like 6 on our first touchdown. And he got stopped short, but him being a ball player, he found a way to end up not going down and ended up scoring. And then later in the 3rd, when they were only down 2, he got another 3rd down across the middle, juked the dude, and then went and got a 1st down and got plus more and trucked the dude. And he set up another touchdown for us. So he had a monstrous day, even though he
He
had
had 2 rushes. He had 2 rushes that went for big gains as well.
that as well. So he's really, truly coming into his own around. Is his 3rd year now. He's being the receiver that we always thought he could be. And I'm personally proud of him because I've said a few times, I didn't know if he was going to be our number 1 receiver. I didn't know if he had it in him, but he has definitely proven me wrong, which I couldn't be prouder about. I thought MG would have 70 yards. I didn't think he would score because I just thought our tight ends, our running backs, and I thought CD would score. He didn't have near 70 yards. He only had 23 yards, but he did have 2 touchdowns. So if you tell me MG is going to have 23 yards and 2 touchdowns every game, I don't care about 70 yards. That's another
I'm
thing.
happy.
I'd much rather have touchdowns and yards, which takes us back to last year. Diggs was giving up yards, but he wasn't giving up touchdowns. yards don't give up points. You can't lose if you give up yards. You can only lose if you give up touchdowns. But that's neither here nor there. I thought the tight ends would at least get a touchdown. It just wasn't our wheelhouse today. We almost had one to Dalton. It was some good defense. It is what it is. And
I'm
I
gonna be
thought
honest. I don't like that play. That play to
right over
Dalton
the
in the
middle.
yeah,
He caught one a few weeks ago. It's hit or miss. It's hit or
yeah.
miss.
We have a
Figure
couple
another
plays
play
like that.
that we don't like. I saw you tweet the just say hut, throw it to our receiver.
No
He
blockers.
missed and miss. It's a hit or miss it most of the time. If we're gonna do it, I want us to run it with CD. I don't really like
Yeah.
that Gallup because he's coming off injury. Can't really. I don't know how his cutting and range of motion is right now. And CD is a lot more shifty than Michael Gallup, but not really.
No, we run it with Turpin or something. Run
Yeah,
it like
or even
we're
Turpin
gonna
or
run it with if the goal is to you gotta make somebody miss, like it needs to be the shiftiest of the shifty if we're gonna do it. Like
TP maybe. He's a
yeah,
short
so
guy, fast guy,
yeah.
but
I don't really like the play. I don't want us to run it at all, but if
yeah.
we are, so
And I thought we would win by a total score of 35-14. We won 54-19. I was close on their end. I was not close on our end, and I would if I'm not gonna be close and it's by that much of a margin. Hey, I
you were
don't want
close
to
in the
win.
yeah,
You
you were
know,
wrong in the right way.
I was wrong in the right way.
All right, so who would you say was the MVP of this game?
I personally would have. I'm gonna go one on offense, one on defense. On offense, I'd say CD because he just was right there when we needed him. Every time we needed CD, every time we called CD's name, he answered the bell, he answered the call. So shout out CD. He had a great game. He's been playing very well over these last few weeks, and I hope he just continues to do so. And then on defense, I'd have to go my boy Malik Hooker. He's one of the three-headed snakes at safety. This is against his former team. He got a pick right when we needed it, right before half. That set up a touchdown. And then he had the fumble recovery touchdown set up by Damone Clark, who's our rookie, who they didn't think was even going to play this year. And he's been very good. A great pick for us. Glad he fell because of the injury. Now, I didn't want him to be injured, but I'm glad he fell to us, and he's been making an instant impact since he's been in. How about you?
Okay, so I'm gonna normally, I normally go to group from this game. My group will be the running backs. Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott were dogs this game. Like I said, we already went over their stats, and I mean they had the three touchdowns really set us apart. Our defense put us in a position, and they took over from there. And then I'll go a defensive one. So you took Hooker, so I'm gonna go Deron Glenn. He had those two picks, and as a rookie, I feel like that was very promising in a position where we had a vet that was just not living up to the hype. Like even if he's gonna give up big plays, at least he's a rookie and has room to grow. Anthony Brown's been on the team for 6 years now, and it just hasn't looked good. So defensive MVP is gonna be Deron Glenn.
Yeah, I like that pick. Like you said, he's a rookie. He has time to grow. I know it's a hit or miss. Sometimes he's gonna give up big plays, and of course you never want that to happen, but at least he's a rookie. He's still young, just came from college. He still has room to grow. Can't really have that constantly from a vet, a 6-year vet. It's not how you win football games. It's not gonna that's not how playoff teams win.
And he's actually making plays. Anthony Brown doesn't get many interceptions. I know this is one game, so it's really not the biggest sample size, and two picks a game isn't sustainable. But I mean, he made the plays when his name was called, so we can't even. What can we say about that? Anthony Brown has been on the team this long. He has never had two picks in the game, I don't think. And then on this year, I'm pretty sure he probably only has one or two picks this year. So I
And
mean,
Dig, if you want to bring up the Diggs only has 3 picks, but he's also shutting a side down.
oh
And
yeah,
he
he's getting
and
completely not even targeted and big. It's with Anthony Brown is literally every team. Their team they literally make it a point to where it's teams at this point who don't even throw the ball. When we played the Giants, they had their longest plays of the season against us through the air. And
2 of them,
against
both on Anthony Brown.
it's exactly. So it's just teams who don't even throw the ball are looking to throw the ball against him. They're like, oh, we might not throw the ball. We can throw it against him.
All right.
And you just can't have that from a vet. So
I definitely agree. But hey, guys, that's another wrap on an episode. Keep liking, keep commenting, keep subscribing, keep sharing. Sorry about pregame video for this game. Where hopefully that never happens again. It just time got to us. I had to go to Austin. We just got a little bit too busy to redo the whole video. It was misfortunate. We're gonna just pray it never happens again.
uh,
Anything else you had to say?
yeah, we're gonna take a couple steps to like try to make sure it doesn't happen again. We're gonna have a second one, just kind of re-recording just to make sure we get that back up. And like you said, we're gonna stay consistent. We recorded the whole video, then went to edit, and it just wasn't there. So
Yeah, so
hoping
I
that
feel
never
like
happens
we
again.
definitely recorded the video, was going to
Absolutely.
edit it. It's not like we were just like it slipped our mind. I promise you, we recorded it was like, oh my God, like no way this happened.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I guess sometimes those things happen and we wanted to re-record. It's just we wouldn't have
I,
been able to
we
do it
didn't
in
have the time.
time to edit it and upload it before the game. And so we were just like, I would just talk about it in our post game. And so we're gonna have a pregame video for the upcoming game against the Houston Texans. That will be dropping somewhere time later this week. But yeah, man, that's a wrap on this episode. Take us out.
All right, guys. I'm Orlando.
I'm Omar,
We're the Smart Bros.
and this is the Smart Take.